See, they're already dropping off.
Wait. Testing.
Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
This is my stream, so I'm hearing you. So,
Okay. Who's here?
testing. You're over there. You're already on.
Can you guys hear me now?
You're on.
Hey guys. Can you guys hear me? Who's online? One at a time, one at a time. All right. First person, say Natalie, are you here?
They can't talk to you.
We can't talk
They
to
can
me.
chat, and I can read the chat.
Okay, so go to chat. Go to chat. All right, can you see the video? Okay, they're here. Ed, are you on?
Dad, keep talking so I can monitor.
All right, guys. I guess the best thing to do under this situation is have you guys ask me questions, burning questions, about what you want to see, since there's no other way to interact live at the moment. So
Just like on the chat.
So just go onto the chat and type in whatever question you might have. All right. Did anybody ask a question?
Dad, why are you on the phone?
I am sending a message to Natalie saying, ask a question on chat.
No, because it's easier for me to tell if the stream is still going, and and what part of the stream we're at if you do actions.
Okay. Somebody throw something at me. What do you got? Liz, what do you got? Chase, give me something. Yes, I'll do something. Tell me what to do.
Alan.
Okay, let's do our salutation. Attention stance, horse stance, warrior, scholar, attention, and bow.
Someone wants to see stances.
No, they don't. You just said that. Anyhow, I already have a stance video. Right, T-Bone?
Get a little closer.
Get a little closer?
You don't have to be
Okay.
that far away.
I'm a little closer now.
Like you can be even a little closer.
Now, is anybody asking anything on chat? Are we having a chat? Or is it just you and no one's saying
There are people that are saying they're here, but no one's.
Okay, well, tell Ed to ask a question. Get a little closer. A little closer. Now, is anybody asking anything in the chat? Are we having a chat? Or is it just you saying no one's saying?
People that are saying they're here, but no one's.
Okay, well, tell Ed to ask a question. I just want to make sure we're interactive.
Yeah. dance.
Well, just do something until somebody asks a question.
Okay, I'll just do something.
Okay.
I'm just dancing.
Here, do a technique from somebody's technique.
Okay. Let's do 5 swords for Ari.
Let's just do whatever.
You know what? Actually, T-Bone's here, so let's go to Tommy's list. All right, Tom. Let's start out with Lone Kimono. All right. We're gonna. Bad guy grabs us with the left. He's gonna punch us with the right. Pin that hand. Step back. Break his elbow. Clear his arm. Chop the side of the neck. Let's do that from this angle. And pin. Step back. Pull him off balance. Stretch out his arm. Pivot and drive that arm up and break that elbow. Inward block to clear and chop. Let's do that fast. 1, 2, 3. And we'll do it nice and slow from this angle. Pin, step back, rotate down into your heel, upward, inward, and chop. Okay. Clutching feathers. Clutching feathers and Lone Kimono are sister techniques. So, pin, step back, stretch them out. Now, when you step back to the ball of your foot, and then rotate into your heel. So, pin, step back, drop as you do, rotate into your heel, drive that dragon fist up into the armpit, check, outward block and palm strike to the face, and hammer fist to the jaw. So, pin, stretch them out, dragon fist, outward block palm. All right, now let's add the next 2 moves. Hammer, hammer, and kick. All right, so once we pull them off balance, we do the dragon fist, outward block and palm, we're in a horse stance, pivot to a neutral bow, and then drop into the hammer fist as you rotate into a reverse bow. Pick that back heel up, shoot it into the target, and cross out.
Someone said, oh, what did you say? Front?
Yeah.
Rear choke?
Bend over front.
Bend over front?
Yeah.
Choke? The guillotine?
Okay. All right. So we have a request for. Well, where are we on my list? Here we go. Where are we here? Locking horns. All right. So, locking horns is front choke. All right. So the guy has you in the guillotine. We're gonna grab that wrist, pull down, and dump our chin in to preserve our breathing. Okay? So the first thing we have to do is make sure we don't get choked unconscious. The second thing we have to do is make sure it doesn't break our neck. So we're going to pull down, lock that in. We're going to go ridge hand to the groin. Then we're going to arc off, elbow up, shuffle in an elbow. All right, so take one step back. From here, come up, grab that wrist, and shuffle in and ridge hand to groin. Duck that chin down, so now he's squeezing our chin. And now as we arc off slightly with our left foot, just flap an elbow into his solar plexus and then lift it straight up into the jaw. We're going to grab the side of his head, do an elbow to the head, and cross out. Okay? So, let's do that from another angle. So, from here, grab, pull down, reaching, elbow, 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 cover up. Okay. Next suggestion. I'm going to do crashing wings for Tom while we're waiting for another suggestion. So, bear hug from behind. We don't let this guy get this all the way. So this is our quick response. The guy comes in to grab us, and we pin before he gets a chance to lock his hands up. So as the attack comes in, I'm going to pin. He doesn't get those hands locked, though. All right. Now, drop your weight. You want to make sure you have this guy under control with your armpits. All right? Now, A lot of times I see people, they don't step out far enough. So let's do this again. As he comes up, I pin so he doesn't get that grab on me. I drop. Try to pick me up, Chase. See, I'm not going anywhere. I have his arms pinned so I can throw him if I want. See that? All right. Now from there, I step around, buckle that knee, lift that elbow up into the chin, hammer to the groin or stomach, and then get out of dodge. All right? Now, when we practice this with a little bit of resistance, we don't change the technique. So even though he grabs, he still doesn't lock it up. All right? But now he tries to not let me around. So I have to really control him, see, so I don't go and then fall on my face. All right? So from here, as I pin, all right, if he's giving me a little trouble, I still really need to get down and control him. All right? Then I can fire that elbow and deliver the hammer. All right. Now, let's say he does get that all the way locked up.
14 seconds.
He does get that all the way locked up. Same thing. Pin those arms. Don't let them loose. Drive my knuckles into the back of his hand to create a pain response. Lock that arm in and grab his hand with your right hand. So, right arm pins his elbow. Right hand has his hand. Put your thumb on the back of his knuckle. Put your fingers right near the wrist on the heel of the palm. And as you roll out, so you keep the pressure on the elbow, then I'm going to keep rotating into the wrist lock. I'm going to pull my fingers towards me, push my thumbs towards him, and kick to the face. All right? So, Tom, there's crashing wings and spiraling twig. What's next?
Can you show the right foot stepping to 3:30 instead of 3 o'clock?
The right foot stepping to
3:30
3:30.
instead of 3 o'clock.
On crashing wings?
Yes.
The right foot stepping to 3:30. Why? Somebody had a question.
Hanky had a question.
Who's Hanky
He
Panky?
is a new subscriber.
Ah, okay.
So-
Hi, Hanky Panky. How you doing?
Ask him why he wants to see it that way.
Okay. Let me turn around. If I'm here and I step back to 3:30, all right, he can just push forward with his right leg and take me down. All right. So I want to lower my weight to here. Pick me up, Chase. If I'm stiff, he can pick me up easily. If I get on the diagonal and his leg, I can't get around his leg. I need to give this leg room to go around. If I'm too close to his leg, in order to get my foot around him, I'm going to get bent forward. All right? And I could end up on my face. So I prefer going straight out to 3.
Can you do reversing?
Natalie would like to know, can you do reversing circles?
Reversing circles. Okay, which one was that again? Reversing circles.
Which
All right, Nat. Where are we?
was that? You making that up?
I don't know.
Make for crashing wings.
Yeah.
Hanky Panky said the conceptual action is to sit on the attacker's right leg.
No, you can, but you're going to have trouble getting around it with the step if you do that, so I prefer not to. My feeling is that people, when they do crashing wings, they don't drop their weight enough.
Demonstrate.
They don't drop. They need to get down low. So give yourself room to get around without taking yourself off balance. So if the person grabs you and you're here, then we do other techniques, right? Right. So everything's a what if. If I sit on this leg, okay, and I'm at 3:30 with this leg, that changes my whole angle. I actually have to go farther now to get around them than if I'm square. Okay?
Uh.
But hey, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I've seen Huck Planis do it one way, Joe Palazzo do it a different way, Dennis Knacker do it a different way, Frank Trejo do it a different way.
Hanky
So-
Panky would like to know, also the step to 3 o'clock leaves a gap and pulls the attacker with you.
Absolutely. But, Chase, come here. When the person grabs you, if you drop and pin, see me throw him? See how I have control of him? You need to control the guy from beat 1, because as soon as you start to move, he's going to try to stop you. All right? So if I start to move, he's going to fight back. He's not just going to stand there. I may have to do a prefix to drive him out, take something else. All right? The next time a technique works in the ideal phase on the street will be a first time a technique's ever worked in the ideal state on the street. But in fact, this is the only technique I've actually done on a real bad guy on a real street, and it worked beautifully. He wasn't even there for the hammer fist. When I elbowed him, he was already on the floor. So I actually have live experience with this one.
Hanky Panky says the cat around works better without a gap between the defenders and attacker. He said.
Well, that hasn't been my experience, but hey, it's
He was
fine.
taught. He said his instructor Pat Salantri. Okay.
Okay.
To step 3:30. That's all.
All right, so what did Natalie want to see?
Oh,
Well, while I was finding that, I'm trying to figure out who is Batmall? Do we know who that is?
Yeah, that's Nick.
oh,
Nick.
he says he's confused.
Oh, that's okay. Let's see.
Confused about Crashing Wing?
Nick, don't worry about it. This is upper level stuff. Don't worry about it. The way you're learning it is fine. As you go higher and higher in rank, you'll be able to add elements to it. But you always learn the base technique in its simplest form first. Okay? There's a gazillion things you can do to change up the techniques to make them work a little better for each person. And Kempo is supposed to be adaptive to the person, not the other way around. So, Nick, let's do grip of death. All right. So, grip of death, side headlock. Okay, that's on the angle. All right. Grip of death, side headlock. All right, now from here. Now, the first mistake most people make is the failure to buckle the guy's knee appropriately. All right? They just kind of tap the knee and expect the guy's going to let go of his grip. If he's really got a grip on you, you really have to drive into that knee. You got to take his balance away. Remember, first thing you do is get balanced, and then take away his balance. So, from here, and then hammer. Then you can anchor that head back, and then palm straight. Finish it up and overlook. All right. So, super slow motion. Let me turn around so you can follow along from behind. So, buckle that knee, hammer fist, slide up the back, anchor the head, get under that chin, use fulcruming to get that head back, pivot and palm strike. All right? If you're doing the extension, we'll take that leg out. But we don't want Chase to have a blown out knee.
Okay. Reversing circles is the one where the attacker is doing a left roundhouse kick. And then she's unsure if you block the kick using a universal blow.
Left round?
Left
Oh.
roundhouse.
She's not talking about Deceptive Panther. She's not talking about Detour from Doom.
We'll just show the
Right roundhouse.
All right, roundhouse kick?
Right
It's
round?
left round. She said
Left round. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Doing a left
All
roundhouse
right.
kick.
From Form 4. All right. So, left roundhouse kick. I'm right side forward because, Parker likes power side forward. So, as that comes in, I go 1, and then he follows up with a left punch. I go 2, and then 3. Right? I prefer just to get a control move at that point. Never go from a superior defensive position to an inferior defensive position in order to just hit a bad guy more often. All right? So, as this comes in, I'm going to block. All right? So, First that, then that, and I'm gonna drive in. I want him off balance. So drive him back. Now, from here, I'm gonna change, fire that second shot. Right, now, what do I have from here? I can buckle this leg out, knee him in the face, right? From here, I can go right into crossing talon, right? From here, I can palm across the jaw, elbow, and then buckle and hook kick, side thrust kick that other knee out, back fist to the head. You got a million choices. So, the base is block the kick, block the punch, get in underneath, check. You don't want to get hit in the face with that, so check his width, fire that shot, and then just get him in a control hold. I like to break his arm that way. Fire the knee. Wrist lock here, fire a kick there, scoop takedown, flip him back over, lock him up, whatever.
Did that answer Natalie's question?
I just forgot.
Okay. Ed, you have a question? Nick, you have a question? Tom, you have a question?
You go over that again slowly.
Which part?
I'll ask.
Hang on a second, guys.
Who's in the chat?
That.
By names?
Not.
Hello?
Yeah.
Anybody? Is any?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Just right in.
She said he had his things. It was what? That's what she meant.
All right, Nikki and Tommy, let's do thundering hammers. So, now, as this punch comes in, we're going to step to 1030. We're going to take that center line. We want that punch off on the diagonal to get that second shot away from us. All right, so we're at or above the elbow, controlling that arm. You don't want to be down here so that thing bends. So from here, you're going to step in. Now, advanced students, I want you checking this leg. Kids, don't worry about the leg check right now. And drive that into the target. You should actually be even or past him when this hits. All right? And you'll see that I have him checked there. This is going to roll around. I'm going to drop a hammer on the far kidney and take that knee with this leg. Check that shoulder. Hammer to the mastoid. You'll notice I switched my check again. Again, kids, for now, don't worry about the leg checks. We'll add them in later, okay? All right. Now we're going to arc off. Back fist to the temple, claw to the face, and the takedown I prefer here is to grab his chin, pull it up, push down on his shoulder, flip him over, and then drop right down on his throat. All right, so let me do that slow motion from this direction, I guess. Now, if this punch comes in and I don't move, I'm going to get clocked. So I step off and I control it. Don't give him the center line. Take it away from him to turn that shoulder and check his width zone. Then drive that back fist in, check that leg, roll that over, check that leg, roll that over, do your hammer. Advanced students, maintain your checks all the time. Back fist to the, and then claw to the face. Okay, super slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll notice the last 3 shots are all with the same hand. Right, right, right.
Bring it closer. We can shoot from everything.
Okay. All right. Who else is online?
Oh, Hacky Packy's from California.
His name's Clark.
Clark.
Say hi, Clark.
Oh, smokes.
All right. Well, let's finish Nick and Tom's list then. Let's do
Are the claw and hammer fist with your left or right hand?
the claw and the back fist and the claw with your right hand. Here, let me do that from the back. So Chase, if I can have my dummy. Those last 3 shots are with your right hand. So super slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's the base that I taught you guys before. Okay? Now your right hand, just hit him in the mastoid. Arc off. Right hand to the temple. Shuffle in. Right hand to the face. So it's right, right, right. Okay?
That was mine.
Uh,
You can answer questions too. Because I already said that this account is.
All right. So let's do cross of destruction. Now, the biggest mistake I see on cross of destruction is when people get grabbed. Okay, am I in the right spot? Okay. All right, we're just figuring out this whole studio thing. All right, that's not a choke, that's a massage. There we go. All right, grab the hands, drop again. Get down. Now, you also need to get off to one side. In this case, we're stepping out with the left foot. Let me do this reverse angle so you guys can mirror image with me. So, 1, get low. Again, the biggest problem I see is people go like this, and then they're like trying to get their head out. Get low the first time, it's easy to get your head out. Okay? All right. So let's do it. Let's do it from this angle. All right. So, you'll be seeing me from behind. So drop. Do you see how I'm pulling Chase forward? See how my hips are under me? I'm not leaned over. I'm not sticking my tushy out. I'm in, okay? And I'm low. Now, he's off balance for a split second. Then I drive my head out. All right, I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Now, from there, I'm going to drive that kick into the far knee and then do the arm break. And that's all you guys have to worry about, Tom and Nick, for now. All right, let's do it from this angle.
Step up a little bit.
No, let's see. I just did it from here. So yeah. Okay.
Step up a little bit. Keep taking a step back.
You attack it from behind. Now, 1. Now, do you see how I pulled his
8.
Shoulders over my
shoulders forward of his hips? If the guy is big and strong, you have to get his shoulders forward of his hips. If he's in underneath you, he's going to pull you back, and you're going to be bowed back, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So you have to get those shoulders forward. Okay. Now, put that elbow right in the nook of his other elbow. What? Yeah. Free chiropractic. And then fire that kick. You take him off balance, and then as he's falling, you can break that arm. Okay? You got to get him off balance on beat 1, guys. You can't wait till beat 2. A lot of people do it. They're like, da-da-da-da, and then they try to get him off balance on beat 2. It's not going to work out for you. If you don't get him off balance on beat 1, he's going to start fighting back. All right? So, now I've seen lots of different variations on this. So, if I can have my dummy back for a moment. So 1, person's grab, you pull, and then you hyperextend his elbows over your shoulder. I'm not a fan. That just gives him too much of an opportunity to reverse the situation on you. I want you out of there as fast as possible. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can get out of this grab just without even using your hands. All you need to do is twist him up. So he's behind me, right? If I drop and I start to really crank that, see? All right? But again, it's all about speed and surprise. It's all about a bomb going off suddenly in his face that he didn't expect. All right. Nick and Tom, any question on lone kimono, clutching feathers? Spiraling twig, grip of death, cross of destruction, crashing wings, thundering hammers. All right, Josh, what's your burning question?
More advanced. More advanced stuff.
That's not a question, Josh. That's a suggestion.
That's mom's.
All right.
Feel like another brown belt or a
All right. Well, let's talk about our methods of defense. we have three methods of defense, right? We have blocking, shielding, and parrying. Of course, plan A is always move the target. Plan B is block, parry, or shield. So what's our first line of defense? Move. What's our second line of defense? Block, parry, or shield. All right, now, blocks, like standard, traditional karate blocks, will not work unless the person is attacking you with a fully committed move. So if he's launching a haymaker from way far away, a block will work just fine. But if he's coming in with a flurry of punches where, a boxing combination, jab, counter, hook, those are too fast. You never see boxers block. They shield. They cover up the targets because reaction time is too slow. So I'm going to give you a couple of things to do, all right, against a roundhouse right. So as the roundhouse right comes in, you're covering. I want you to step in. I want you to intercept that with both hands. Come in. So, hey man, I don't want any trouble. All right, and you've got it covered. Now, the next thing we have to do is make sure he can't hit us with the left hand. So we're going to take that elbow and drive his jaw the other way. All right. So from here, 1, take that jaw, drive it the other way. Keep firing knee up into the body, fire a kick up into the groin. Do a takedown. Control maneuver. All right. Put him in a figure 4. Let's get that on camera. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. What?
That's anything.
Oh, you're making faces. All right. So from here, if you step in and close the distance, check that in with your shield. So you're shielding the targets, and you just use that to step inside. And I want your right forearm right on the side of his face. You can pin that under your armpit so you have control of him, right? You can wrap it around for the figure 4, all right? Or just grab a hold of him, all right? Put the head down, do the kicks up into the body, kicks up into the groin, roundhouse kick to the inside of the knee, catch that nerve. What? All right. Boom, bam. And then you put him in a guillotine your own. All right. Is that advanced, Josh? All right. So let's do that from reverse angle. So, hey, man, I don't want any trouble. Drive in, control that head, capture that arm, fire some knees, right? Drop into a guillotine if you need to. All right. You can take him down and put him in a control move as well. Chase is having fun today.
2 things.
Yes.
Josh wasn't the one to ask advanced stuff.
It was Mom. I said that.
That's okay.
Yeah. And 2, Josh says hi, but he has no burning question.
He never has a burning question. Remember, the move first and then block, parry, or shield. Blocks interrupt energy, parries redirect energy, shields cover targets. All right? So if someone comes in and they're blitzing you, change your height and shield your face. Does Mr. Ed have any questions?
Which way? Yeah, which way do you want? Go, fast.
All right. Do we have any of your kids on, Liz?
Block, shield, or party.
Party, yeah.
Block, shield, or parry. Very good.
Yeah, block, shield, or party, and parry. First you block, shield, or parry, then you get the party. Maddie, Caroline. All right, let's do flashing mace. All right. So whirling warrior, flashing mace. So let's look from this angle. So there are 3 ways you can be standing for defense, basically. You can have your left side forward, you can have your right side forward, or you can be standing square. Now back in the olden days when I first started learning Kempo, all the techniques would start with your feet in a natural position and your hands at your side, right? So you should never, ever be standing like that, ever, if somebody takes an aggressive posture towards you. So as soon as, well, hey man, I don't want any trouble. You should be in your ready stance, hands up, high enough, hands up high enough to cover your head, elbows in, right? So this is no good, this is no good, this is no good, right? You have to, basically you're in double inward block position. But your hands are open because this sends a different message than that, right? So hands are up, we're sending look, I don't want any trouble message. And he decides that he's going to try to shoot this punch right in between my hands. So I'm like, hey man, I don't want any trouble. So you're going to step off exactly like we did in Thundering Hammers. These are sister techniques. Thundering Hammers is what you do when your hand's down here, right? And Flashing Mace is what you do when your hands are up here. So we're going to snap that elbow and try to break it. We're controlling that arm. Now from here, since my hand's up, instead of going under, we're going to go right into the eye. We're going to do something called skipping our check. See? We're going to just hit this.
Want to flip around real fast?
Mm-hmm.
You can get closer to him.
See how
You can get.
this just comes off just long enough
You can get even
to let our arm by. I kind of like to think of it as like a World War I fighter plane, you know, a biplane or a triplane. They had those machine guns that would shoot through the propellers, and the propeller had a little thing in it, so you didn't shoot the propeller. It would skip a shot whenever the propeller blade was coming around, right? So it's the same kind of thing. Hey, look, I don't want any trouble. Right. Snap, hammer, check. Your high hand stays high, your low hand stays low. So from here, this is my high hand. Once I hit them, they stay where they are. Now, this is just an offensive application of a universal block. Check and chop as opposed to double blocks, fine. All right? So I guess we're in this angle again. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, from there, he should be bent forward so I can lift this into the space. You don't really want him up straight and drive this into the chin. You're going to break all the little bones in the back of your hand unless you're a monster. And if you're a monster, I don't think you need to do this technique anyway. So from here, you hit that kidney or that ribbon back, check him down. You want him off balance. You also notice, advanced students, that I have his leg checked here. So he can't turn into me with that left hand without trying to disengage. But I'm not going to give him time to disengage. I'm going to fire that back fist right up into the face. All right? Then if you wanted to add the rest like that, then go ahead. Let me do that super slow. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the way that works is this hit starts his arm going down, and then this flips. Mr. Parker used to say, like a waiter holding a tray of drinks, right? And you drive that down and check that into his leg. Pulls his head forward, all right? Back fist up. The back fist doesn't go circular. Mr. Planas told me one time, yeah, I call this the little buckaroo technique. I'm like, why do you call it the little buckaroo technique? He goes, because people go boom, then they go around their head. And he goes, but that's not how it works. You're not supposed to be hitting around your head. You're supposed to drive him down and then lift that straight up. So I call it the Pete Townsend technique. All right? Now from there, you can head out the door. You can sweep him as you head out the door. Or you can check him and come right back in on the other side. Kick the groin if you want. Right? And we can actually segue into a whole different ending.
Want to show that once on this side?
Sure.
All the fancy footwork.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Check that leg. Boom. Now from there, I can sweep, turn, back fist through the kidneys. Now when you back fist, don't stick it. Hit in one side, right out the other. Now my hands in front of him, my foot's in back of him. I push pull to do a takedown. Always take care of your partner when you take them down. Don't just drop them and hope they don't land hard. All right. Questions?
We are also live on Pink Karate Parents page.
Hello, Pink Karate Parents page.
Say hi to Lily from Philly.
Hi, Lily from Philly. Burning question, Lily from Philly. Katarina, question?
Let's see. Anything? You go over, let's see. We're not watching. Okay.
Got a lot of dead space here we're going to have to edit out. Who has a question? Lily from Philly. Anybody?
I don't know if I can chat with them. Is watching.
Okay. What do you have, Chase?
Maddie is watching.
Maddie!
Not Maddie.
Oh, Maddie.
Well, maybe she's watching.
Maddie.
No, Olivia.
Olivia. Hi, Olivia.
At least her dad is.
Okay, well, let's see. What does Olivia need to know? The chart's over here. All right, Olivia, let me look at your stuff. All right. Kimono grab, Japanese stranglehold. Okay, let's start off with kimono grab. All right, so kimono grab, that's a Tracy name. All right, so it's a two-hand lapel grab from the front. All right, now, when a person grabs you like this, you've already made one big mistake, which was you let the guy get close enough to grab you like this. That should not have happened. You know, he should have been coming up. Hey, man, stop. Don't get any closer. Back off. That should have all happened, and you should be in your defensive position. But for whatever reason, this guy caught you off guard. He closed the distance. You didn't pay attention. Next thing, he's on. Now, from here, he can either pull you in, he can push you back, or he can hold you in place. All right? So that's basic. Now, he may pull you back at an angle or push you forward at an angle, but basically, he can push you, pull you, or hold you. All right. So if he tries to pull me, I'm not going to try to do twin kimono or kimono grab. It's not gonna work, right? This would be holding me still or pushing me back technique. All right. Now, obviously, I can only do this technique when I have space to go back, because the first move is a step back. If my back's against the wall, then I have to try Plan B, which we'll go over later. So from here, he's holding me. That's probably a good angle. Now, I see this a lot. People reach over and they grab the far wrist. But that lets the person just pull this hand out and hit them. Okay? So what you need to do is kind of start off with an inward block and bring this wrist next to that wrist. See? So from here, when I come across and I push his wrists together. Then clank, like the hook on the back of a truck. I hook, and then I can step back and pull him off balance. Then I drive up, and then in, chop. Now from there, I'm going to elbow to the head, reverse bow and hammer, and kick to the body. All right, so super slow motion. Drive this hand to that hand, and lock them both up. Drop and turn. Okay, again, a lot of people step back and they don't drop their weight. Get lower than him. Lower center of gravity is going to make it harder for him to move you around, easier for you. And then drive that up to break those arms. Advanced students, fire a back fist through the body on the way by, because we never want to pass a target without hitting it. All right? Then, inward block, advanced students, you can compound this, hammer fist him in the temple, eye, or nose as you come through. Then we're going to drive the head back with a chop. Now, what I like to do from here is pretend my hand is stuck to his neck, and I need to get it off. Oh, there we go. It came off. All right, as I fire that elbow in. So instead of going chop and elbow, don't lose contact. Because once you chop, he may come in and try to grab you again, and you may need to control him. So if you go like this and bring it back, he can come in on you. So from here, you can control him so he can't. And then use your other hand as a sandwich. Boom! Now, advanced students, You can hit him with the hand first and then deliver the elbow. You can hit him with the elbow first and then deliver the hand. You can sandwich it simultaneously. Or, my personal favorite, offset them. So as you come in, you take the top of his head one way and take his jaw the other way to break his jaw sideways. All right? So, super slow-mo, lock his arms together, step back and break, inward block, chop elbow. Now, you can also do an insert right here, advanced students. So once you're here, his eyes are right there. You might as well claw them as you go through. And then drop into a reverse bow. Okay, nice deep stance as you hit that groin. Now, as you start to leave, pick that heel up right to your butt. You don't need to do a V-step and chamber it, right? You can chamber it on the fly and then drive the kick in. Okay? All right. So, Olivia, work on that.
And
Let's do Japanese stranglehold.
Oh, give me a second.
Okay, so Olivia, Japanese stranglehold. All right, so person comes up behind you and they put you in a choke. You need to know how to do it off of both hands. We're going to demonstrate it off of right choke. So, and I'm going to go mirror image, right? So from here, the first thing I need to do is drop my weight. I need to take my fingers and stick them in the crook of his elbow. You can also grab the wrist if you're stronger, all right? And what you're going to try to do is make room to duck that chin in so he's not choking you. So his pressure is now pushing your chin instead of collapsing the carotid artery temporarily to knock you out or crushing the windpipe to kill you. So as you drop, all right, we're going to do a hammer to the groin. All right, this is compounded. So if you watch how I did that, I went elbow hammer, elbow hammer. So you're getting two shots for the price of one. You hit the elbow to the solar plexus, and then as you continue to drop, right into the hammer to the groin. From there, you're going to track the body and snap an elbow up into the chin. All right, and then roll out along the arm. All right, so let's do this with you follow me along at like fast. So lock that in, pull down, elbow hammer. That's all one beat. All right, snap and roll. Now, of course, from there, we can go to escape from death or whatever. You can start there, boom, boom, come through, end up with the end of grip of death. So these are sister techniques. So you can always segue from one into another on the fly. So a lot of you are really, I'm very happy because you're starting to get that on your own. You're like, oh no, I made a mistake. I did the wrong technique. You didn't make a mistake. You did great. You grafted. Good work.
can you explain what sister techniques are?
All right, sister techniques are techniques that are off similar attacks that contain the same pattern of movement. All right, so delayed sword, right? We step back and inward block, do a kick, and then a chop. Is a sister technique, complementary technique to five swords. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so they work together. You can actually put them together into one super mega technique. Boom, 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 boom. Wow, see? All right. So as your one, when do you do one rather than the other? Well, time and distance. If you have distance, you kick them. If you don't have distance, you chop them. All right? Can I borrow you for a second, Chase?
Yeah.
So, super slow motion. If Chase comes in with a roundhouse punch for five swords, all right, I block that. Now, I'm really far away from him. So, by the time I come in and try to chop him, he's turned that other side and we exchange shots, or maybe he hits me first, or maybe I get lucky and I hit him first. I'm not taking chances like that. So I step back, I've created distance. Now as he comes in to try to hit me with that other foot, I have a longer range weapon that I can bring to bear and then go into the chop. And then of course from there, I'm in 5 swords position. All right. So another example of sister techniques would be thundering hammers, dance of death, and sleeper. They all start from the same position. From the first shot coming in, my hand's down here. So what can I do? I can hit him low, I can hit him middle, or I can hit him high. Right? So those are sister techniques. That's 3 different options from the same starting position. Then other techniques in that same family grouping would be flashing mace. What do you do when your hand's up? Attacking mace. What do you do when your hand's chambered? What do you do when you're in close? It's a bunch of techniques where you're coming off of, in this case of all this, a straight right punch. And it's like, okay, well, your left side's forward, you did an inward block, now what are all the things you can do from there? And then each one's a technique. Remember, the techniques are just patterns of movement. They're not etched in stone. Sometimes they're not even the best thing to do in that situation, okay? Because they're designed to teach movement. Sometimes short, sweet, and brutal is much more effective than trying to get a whole technique in, which you'll never do anyway.
It's 7:38.
All right. Thank you, guys. We have another question?
Can you give something special for the Pink Karate Girls?
Something special for the Pink Karate Girls.
Advanced, like new advanced, something cool.
Something new and cool.
Clawing Panther.
Clawing Panther?
Yeah.
Okay.
Explain that.
All right. So, Clawing Panther.
Yeah.
All right.
Why?
Oh, that's an oldie. Okay, Clawing Panther. I'm going to get my Steven Seagal on. So, Clawing Panther, I'm going to start off with an Aikido move, which Steven Seagal made famous in Above the Law. I think it's the only thing he did against every attack in that. So against the straight right, we're going to step in, sweep down, and do a clothesline. Right? Then from there, we're going to cack behind him, anchor his head back. All right, knee to the kidney, elbow to the heart, and then claw down into the face. So, super slow motion. All right, so both hands are going to circle like this. So you have your circles, but they're not overlapping in inside out or outside in, which are going in opposite directions. Right? We're not doing a figure 8. We're doing both circles in the same direction. So as this comes up, it comes over and this checks down. So the first thing we do is an outward block with the right hand. As we check his width, this comes down and checks him down, and then I clothesline across the throat. All right. Now I'm going to go in, check his leg, slide down and up to maintain that check. This is going to come under and anchor his head back. Then I'm going to fire a knee into the kidney, drop an elbow on the heart or the sternum to break it, and then from there, I'm going to come right down, claw, and bounce the back of his head off the concrete. Maybe you shouldn't bounce the back of his head off the concrete if you don't want to end up with an accidental dead body. All right, so super slow motion. Follow along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There, and one more time. Both hands come up. That blocks the punch. You start turning him, and then you check him down, so you've checked his width and his height. Then you're going to shuffle in, do a straight arm clothesline with your hand in ridge hand position. Then as you go behind him, anchor him back so he's bowed. You're in a forward bow. You're checking that leg. Knee to the kidney. Return right back. Drop this elbow straight down as you pivot from a forward to a neutral, and then pivot to a reverse bow or a forward bow in the other direction, whatever you want to call it, as you drive his head towards the floor. All right, so this was a little rocky, our first live stream due to COVID-19. So thanks for everybody for hanging in there. We're getting a handle on this now, so intend to be a lot more professional and a lot more quick and responsive in the future. Our next live stream will be Saturday at 11:30 for advanced students and 12:30 for beginners and novices. So have a great night. Please feel free to leave a comment if you want me to get back to you on any particular questions. So thank you very much and have a great night.